Thank you so much for clicking on this video because this is one of my favorite topics to talk about. How to start a weight loss journey and then keep it going forevermore, to actually lose it and then maintain it. Why is it so hard? I think I got the answer. So, I own this gym called 360 Mind, Body, and Soul, and we do all these weight loss challenges, and we've been doing them forever. And I've worked with a ton of clients at this point in my career, you guys. I mean, over 1,000, and they've lost significant amounts of weight. But because I am so dedicated to this mental side of fitness, I've been secretly watching behavior patterns over the past couple of years, and I've noticed that clients believe that discipline is really gonna be what it takes to, of course, lose the weight, but then keep it off. I've, seen dedicated, determined, disciplined clients come in the door and lose huge amounts of weight in 6 weeks, 6 months, whatever. And, after the challenge is over with, some things happen and maybe they gain it back. Now listen, it's no shade because I've been there too. If you're watching this video, you probably have too. It's the classic yo-yo dieting that we've all encountered. And so when we discipline ourselves into submission, then eventually once we achieve the goal, the last thing that we want to do is stay in that place of disciplining ourselves. So where are we going to run? We're going to run towards comfort and run towards freedom. And a lot of times that's going to take us in the opposite direction. Really what this video is all about is trying to make you aware that shifting a mindset is going to be the number one thing that you are going to need, the thing that it's going to be like water. Until you do that, it's just going to be, maybe losing it through discipline and then gaining it until you feel like you need to lose it again, that classic yo-yo dieting. So I've got 5 steps, strategy and 5 steps that you can take on that I use personally anytime I'm trying to get myself on board with something that I'm just naturally not good at, or something that I'm trying to create a new habit for. So join me and hopefully it's going to help you out. This video talking about the power of acceptance when it comes to creating a brand new lifestyle, you guys. If we do not accept where we are in this weight loss journey, which I don't even like to call it a journey, because journey implies that like there's an end point, and there ain't no end point as it relates to staying healthy and staying fit. You can lose the weight, you can get, gain your muscles, gain the type of vanity that you want. But if you want to keep that thing going, it is going to require a forever commitment. So you got to accept that. First and foremost, right out the gate, you have got to accept that this thing is going to be forever. Say it with me. Forever. Forever. It's going to be forever. There's no way around that. It's going to be forever. And then you got to accept that you have to choose fruits and veggies more than popcorn and pizza. These are just the facts. Accept it. In the human mind, we really feel like acceptance is almost like condoning the behavior. We don't even identify with being in this type of physical shape. So I can't accept this. Like, this is not okay. What we do is we start to make up stories about preventing the thing that already is. You cannot prevent the fact that you're in this current shape right now. And so you gotta accept where you are, because we gotta start to live in reality, you guys. But the stories come up, right? What does this mean about me as a person? What are other people thinking of me? Why didn't I go to the gym? Why did I let myself get to this state? And it leads to feelings of feeling powerless, because we know we can't lose weight by snapping our fingers and it's over with tomorrow. We're back to our normal size. We can't just eat one good meal and then back to our, the size that we want to be. And so it brings up this feeling of feeling powerless. And as human beings, when we feel powerless, the first thing that we want to do is to try to control the situation. And so we control by pressing resistance up to the fact that we are in this position. And instead of taking action, we start to think of preventative measures where it's too late for that. It's too late for that. We can only cut our losses right now and to start, because whatever we resist, we already know persists. Now, I'm not saying that acceptance is easy, because if you're feeling powerless, like, the hardest thing to do is to accept those feelings. But if you can just muster up enough strength to allow those feelings to enter, that goes way past discipline. And it penetrates into an area of like burning desire, to where you're not gonna let it happen again, because you have now let those feelings, tidal wave over you, wash over you. It's really about the power of feeling. I've said it in previous videos, definitely in my Fearless video. The people that are like, you can't touch them, it's because they allow themselves to feel, you guys. We are in the feeling dark ages of time. Nobody wants to feel anything, and definitely not accept some shortcomings or something that they have perpetuated over time. And if you let it in, you actually realize that it's not all that bad. It didn't kill you. And it doesn't hurt as bad as you can imagine. It doesn't diminish your self-esteem and worth as much as it does build. What you'll find is it builds your confidence. It builds your self-esteem. It builds your self-trust in yourself. It builds the ability to know that you can overcome those feelings. And now it doesn't matter what anybody else says about you. Because if you can take your own self-criticism, and I'm not talking about like the really nasty stuff that you tell yourself potentially when you look in the mirror, but the God-honest truth about you, if you can take that on, you're starting to now shape yourself, and you're starting to now know who you really are. And so when somebody has something else to say about you that is not in alignment with what you know about yourself, it can't touch you. It can't touch you. By being honest with yourself and letting it fully in, so that you can let that fuel you to take you all the way to that goal, and then keep you grounded in that forever, because you know what it feels like to be here and you ain't going back. All right, so I promised you 5 steps, and here they are. Acceptance, acceptance, acceptance of what is. We got to step into reality with this thing. So grab a piece of paper, and I want you to write down, where are you currently, and how did you get there? Be honest about that. What rituals went into that? Maybe every night you had ice cream, or every other morning you had that bake. Whatever it is for you, be honest about that. How do you feel about where you are? So how did you get there? How do you feel about it? And then what do you want from your body? What do you want? What do you want from it? Where do you want to go? Well, and I want you to be detailed with it. Be honest, get clear, accept what is, and then launch a new rocket. Where do you want to go, and why do you want to go there? And accept the reasons why you want to go there. It's no judgment. This is you talking to you. The second step is to align with the situation. So you know now where you are, how you got there, and you have an idea of where you want to be, right? Or you know for sure where you want to be. You've got to get your desire on board with it. Now, if you've absorbed the feelings of where you are and why and how you got there, you're probably already there. You have now created this burning desire, or at least started to, you've lit the flame. So now create this burning desire to want to get there. And at the same time, if you have trouble with that, create tremendous pain associated with staying where you are. And so you've got to create those wire connections in your brain to realistically make a mindset shift. Create affirmation flashcards that are dealing with some of the hardest parts, some of the areas that you're really, insecure with, that will push you over the edge in your time of need. Okay, so step 3 is all about creating momentum. You have accepted what is, you have aligned with the process, and now we got to sail, baby. We got to get this thing in motion, create constant momentum to realistically push this thing downhill. And so you want to start to set small goals here and really start to nail them down one day at a time. So whether it be you get your time management together, whether it be you start to put an alarm in your phone reminding you to drink more water every hour, right? Or maybe you go to bed by a certain time, get your butt in bed so that you can get up for that 5 a.m. fitness class, or make a reservation at your local gym to get into a fitness class. And maybe you start to shop around different gyms to figure out where your tribe is, but start to set some of these goals and then really chop them down to get that momentum going, because you have this burning desire, and without an actual task to do, it's just still one of those things that it's nice to contemplate, but I'm not really preparing myself and taking action. The fourth step is to be congruent with all of these things. Create some type of practice for yourself that will keep you in that appreciative nature, that will fuel all these other things that you're doing. You've accepted what is, but now instead of, it's because we don't want to fall back into that lower vibration feeling of feeling powerless and that sort of thing. Keep your momentum and your vibrations and your happiness alive by appreciating the work that you put into it all day. I work with clients all the time that, you know, they start off in a size 22 or a size 16, and by the time they get down to a size 8, they refuse to buy new work clothes until they get to the size 6 or whatever their final goal is, because they feel like they haven't gotten there yet. And so it's like a lack of celebration, a lack of appreciation. And until you give that to yourself and buy some new clothes and start to recognize that you fit and fine now, you're perpetuating that feeling of like not there yet. And good luck with keeping up your enthusiasm feeling like that all the time. Focused on my new lifestyle. This is my new lifestyle. This feels great. That's where you want to be. So stay there by keeping everything congruent. And the fifth and final step is to repeat all of these steps over and over again. Because there's gonna come a point where the flashcards are not gonna serve you anymore, because you would have manifested that. You would have become that person that you were trying to affirm yourself to be. And so you're gonna have to create new ones. And so go ahead and repeat this whole step process. So I guess it's really a 4-step process, but the fifth one is to keep that going in maybe even other areas of your life so that you can get to where you're trying to go. All right, so thank you so much for joining me, you guys. Subscribe to my channel if this was beneficial, helpful for you. Leave a comment even. I'm going to be hosting a workshop that's all about this topic, starting and continuing on with this weight loss journey. It's going to be online, so no matter where you are on the planet, you can join me. It's going to be Thursday, October 11th, 2018. And in general, you can sign up or see about upcoming workshops on shantij.com. Thank you guys so much for joining me in the month of acceptance.